All right, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to you, fellow Akim, out there pushing out this word and truth, sincerity, Shabbat Chanak, coming back at you with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yah Ba'ashem Ashai. And I want to do a quick lesson, of course, going in on this devil Esau, and his hypocrisies. I was watching a video earlier, which I'm going to put the video, if I remember, in the description box. But I have an article here which goes into the same thing that the news outlet was going into. Okay, and this was a news outlet from East India, which you already know they're not going to, American media is not going to cover what's really going on. And basically, I just found this hypocritical as I was watching the video. Let me read this article title. U.S. readies ban on cotton tomato imports from China, Xinjiang. If I'm pronouncing that city right. And I'm going to read a little bit of the article and why you would say, oh, it's not, there's always trade wars. But let's look at the reason here why America is getting ready to ban cotton and tomatoes, which China produces roughly about 20% of the world's cotton. And it's going to disrupt markets. And there's a few other commodities within this ban. And the reason why America is going to stop, the imports from coming into the United States. Washington, and this is from Rutgers. And there's several different news outlets that cover this also. U.S. Customs and Border Patrol protection officials have prepared orders to block imports of cotton and tomato products from China's western region of Xinjiang over accusations of forced labor, though a formal announcement has been delayed. So right here, we don't have to go and read the whole article, which is not a super long article, but I'm not going to read it. You can read it. That's all that we need. Okay, America is going to stop imports of cotton and tomatoes coming in. And I found it ironic that it was cotton. Okay, because at one point, the United States was the biggest cotton producer. Okay, and the point that I'm getting to is America was made rich off of forced labor. What's forced labor? Slavery. Okay. Excuse me. I just got a little alert. Forced labor, okay, is slavery. And like I said earlier, America was made great, okay, became a superpower because of forced labor, okay? And one of those products was cotton, okay? So they're going to stop imports because, America is trying to stop the humanitarian crises that are going on as far as slave labor, sex trafficking. Okay, and you Edomites were the prime example of the whole world. Okay, by putting the Israelites in slavery, the so-called black man. Okay, taking the Native American land. Okay, so you're a hypocrite. Let me just read that again. I'm gonna read it from the top. U.S. readies ban on cotton. Okay, and like I said, I found it ironic that Esau'S here in the United States is going to stop cotton for coming in because they're upset that China allegedly is forcing their citizens, okay, to push out this product, which a lot of these, the Moabites ain't right anyway. But if you go into the people called the Uyghur Muslims, they're a small ethnic group in China, and they've been getting put in detention centers. They've been getting forced vaccinated. Their women are being forced sterile. And I believe that a large portion of those so-called Uyghur Muslims that are in China, okay, which I believe they say is over 1 million of them, but it could be more. Yeah, it could be more. They're a small ethnic group there. I believe that those are Jakes, and a lot of them are being forced into these detention centers. They have programming camps. Okay, because they have different customs. And China is fully in the New World Order. Okay, they're full steam ahead. Okay, remember the beast system. They're gonna make the whole world. Okay, worship the beast and take his image. Take his mark and worship his image. Let me just read this one more time, then I'm gonna go into a few scriptures, and then we'll close it out. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officials have prepared orders to block imports of cotton and tomato products from China's western region of Xinjiang over accusations of forced labor. This is an accusation, which they are doing it. Okay, but all these nations are forcing labor. Okay, how do you think China became great? How do you think China became great? Forced labor. That's how you become great. Okay, that's how you get your imports and exports up. Okay, you're able to make certain products and push them out and make a profit because you don't have to pay, your employees, or you give them, a very, very small wage, or a slave wage. That's what it's called, a slave wage. Which you jakes here in America, you're nothing but glorified slaves. So China was made great, became a superpower through exports because of forced labor. Okay, slave labor. Okay, slave wages, which that's right out of the textbooks of how America became great. Okay, by putting the so-called Negro in slavery as well as the Native American. So what did China do wrong, according to, if you judge it off of what America did? It says over accusation of forced labor, though a formal announcement has been delayed. So let me just go into a couple of scriptures. This is Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked the Most High saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Here it is, Esau Edom. He's trying to be holy. He's trying to, cry out in the international community of what China is doing, basically forcing people into labor, which is nothing but slavery, which is another way of saying slavery. And so the Most High is like, what are you Edomites? Okay, what do you have to do to declare my statutes? Because, slavery, that's out of the scripture. Now, there's a certain way that you're supposed to treat your slaves, your servants. And by the way, this is how we're going to become, or this is how, this is why we're going to have so much wealth, is because you other nations, you're going to be our servants. But we're not going to treat you like Esau treats his servants. We're not going to treat you like Moab treats his servant. We're going to treat the servants righteous. Okay, you other nations, you're going to be under us. Okay, and you're going to be our handmaids. You're going to be our husbandmen out there in the field. Okay, you're going to be, our hewers of wood and drawers of water. Okay, you're going to be in a servant capacity. And that's a commodity, servants. Okay, slaves. If the world didn't tell you that, that's one of the main commodities out there is slaves. Why do you think, they call you a employee? Okay, and they have something called human resources. A human resource, just as gold is a resource. Okay, land is a resource. Okay, so humans, people, the nations, they're also resources too. And Esau Edom knows that. Okay, China knows that. This is how they became great. Okay, and gotten riches. Well, China likens themselves unto America. Okay, it tells you that. I want to say in 2nd Ezra, the 16th chapter. Okay, I'm not going to get it. I believe it's 16. Could be 15. It talks about Asia. So Esau Edom, here it is. You put the so-called Negro in slavery for over 400 years. Okay. All these insurance companies, all these banks. Okay. All these, Fortune 500 companies, all these multi-billion-dollar industries. When you go back into their foundation, they were built off of slave money. Their start was slavery. Well, just like the stock exchange, which trillions of dollars run through the stock exchange probably daily. Well, what was the first commodity, okay, on the stock exchange? Okay, the New York Stock Exchange. It was slaves. Okay, it was the so-called black men. Okay, and they were selling Indians too. But the spirit had it where Judah, Benjamin, and Levi, they were going to be the main, they were going to be the main components of slavery. Okay, here in America, which the whole world knows about. I'm done there. I mean, let me just read this last verse. Seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee. So here it is, Esau, Edom. He's trying to be, the God of the world by telling you what to do and what not to do. Okay. And this damn devil is actually, his history is nothing but slavery. His history is nothing but, humanitarian crises. Okay. Look at the state of where Jake is at right now. You think Esau, Edom didn't have a hand in that? No, of course he had a hand in that. And he's keeping our people down to this day. You don't have the equal opportunity. You're dealing with, you're fighting with two hands behind your back, okay, and your head turned around. Okay, that's the odds that you Jakes are fighting, trying to build up in this society. You will never make it, okay? You will never get rest. And I was reading the curses earlier. You know what? Let me go into that. I'm gonna go into that, but I want to go into was it Joel? Yep, Joel. Let me start at the top. I mean, I can go to the point, but let me start at the top, because this is the reason why the Lord's gathering all these nations, okay, to put judgment on you nations, because you nations are actively oppressing us. And you have to remember, and I'm going to get it in Deuteronomy, we're going to find it again, about how we were scattered amongst all the nations. So the Arabs, Ishmael, Elam, okay, Moab, Ammon, we have communities of our people that are in those lands. Okay, they're looking similar to those nations because they've been there so long. Okay, and they intermingled with each other. Okay, but those nations are oppressing them. See, there's a difference. Just like when you go into India, there's a caste system. Okay, in Afghanistan, northern Afghanistan is over 1 million. They call them so-called black Afghanis. And they know the history. They trace their history back to I want to say 70 AD. When Jake started scattering into these different lands. Okay, and what happened? They got oppressed by those nations that were in those lands. Okay, just like those Uyghur Muslims, which I believe a lot of them could be Jakes. Time will tell. But we do know that we've been scattered. That's for sure. This is there's another term called the untouchables. This is Joel 3:1. For behold, in those days and in that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning the Lord is going to redeem us. Okay, we're going to come out of captivity, and this day is coming. This day is right around the corner. All right, we can taste it. That's how close it is. When you can taste the food, and you're not even eating. And I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, when you go deeper into that article and why the article is significant outside of the point that I'm making, the hypocrisies of Esau is furthering more tension between the U.S. and China as far as, a war is concerned. Because war between China and U.S., they're saying that it's damn near inevitable. Okay, because China is becoming this superpower. And there's so much tension between the two nations. Okay. And it says, so the Lord, he's bringing all these nations down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and China's going to be brought down there too. Okay. And I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage, Israel. So these nations are being gathered together. Okay. So the Lord can plead with them. Okay. For Israel. Okay. Meaning he's going to destroy them. He's going to, make them fight against each other, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. You see that? So when Esau, the other nations, they came into that land, what happened? We were scattered. Okay, we were scattered, and the other nations, they had a part in doing that. Okay, so the Lord, he's going to plead with them for that. All right, that has not been forgotten. Okay. The sins that you other nations have committed against us, in the reincarnation, that hasn't been forgotten. So this is what the Lord is doing. He's gathering you up. Okay. He's built. Well, it tells you what scripture is that, where it goes into, wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near. Okay. Talks about your plowshares, and your pruning hooks, put all those down and pick up the sword, basically. If a brother remembers that, where that scripture, it might hit me. I might go to it. You could just put it in the description box. It says, and who's in the land right now? We for damn sure not in the land. If you were to go out and say, okay, that you are from the Israel, not only the whole world will laugh at you, but your own people will laugh at you. That's how bad it is. And they have cast lots for my people, and have given a boy for a harlot, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. So there you go. That's inhumane. Okay. To give a boy for a harlot, meaning, Esau, when Esau got us, man. And why do you think that homosexual spirit is out there amongst you so-called black men? Okay, you so-called Hispanic. When you go into, if you look into, I'm a little all over the place, but I'm gonna come back. When you go into the DR, okay, and child trafficking or child, sexual abuse, a lot of the women, they have to turn to prostitution at a very young age. But remember, it's really the boys that Esau Edom goes over to mess with. And that's pushed down. That's suppressed. That information is suppressed. You have all these rich Edomites from these different countries. Okay. A lot of Edomites from Europe. Okay. A lot of Edomites from Europe. Okay. In America, they'll go down to the DR, and they'll deal with the little girls, but really they'll deal with the little boys. That's a hot commodity, as well as out there in Southeast Asia, they do the same thing. Okay. And they were doing this when they gathered us up. Okay. They were, sexually abusing the little boys. So why do you think, Jake is in that homosexual spirit now? All right. It's those same spirits coming back. And have given a boy for a harlot, and have sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre and Zidon, and all the coast of Palestine? Because this was a trade. You have the Africans and the Ishmaelites, the Hamites, and the Ishmaelites, which the Ishmaelites are the Arabs, which the word Arab just means mix. They had a hand in gathering us up, making the ships and stuff like that to put us into captivity, to sell us to the Grecians, to sell us to the so-called white man. And a lot of these other European nations, okay, like the Dutch and the Swedes, you don't really hear too much about them so-called, having slaves, but they did have slaves, out there in the different islands. It wasn't as big as, let's say the French, or the American slave, the Americans or the British. A lot of them, they had, different slave outposts, out there in the Caribbean when you go into the history, as well as they were responsible for making a lot of the shackles, the iron. So that when you go into the history, all these Edomite nations, don't allow them to fool you into believing they didn't have a hand in slavery. They just didn't have a super big hand as America did, the American Edomite. Which goes back into all those European nations anyway, because you Americans, you gotta if you trace your lineage back, a lot of you go back to the UK, the United Kingdom, British, a lot of you go back to German descent, Dutch descent, Irish descent, and now through different generations, you call yourself American. Will ye render me a recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head? Because ye have taken my silver and my gold. Yeah, all the silver and the gold from the temple. All the silver and the gold that we had, as a nation, they took that. They put us in slavery and they took that. Who do you think has that now? We don't. Esau and other nations have that. They divided that and they passed it down to their the different generations, and have carried into your temples my goodly pleasant things. The children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem. See? And this is why Esau, he hates the scriptures. And he really hates the scriptures when it's broken down in the correct context. Because it's telling you here, the children of Judah, and we understand that the children of Judah are the southern kingdom. Judah, Benjamin, Levi. And the children of Jerusalem are the northern kingdom. Ephraim, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Asher, Naphtali. So on and so forth. Issachar, Simeon. The 10 tribes. It said the children also of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians. Now, who are the Grecians? You see that? So it's telling us that the Arabs and the Africans, they sold the children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem, both tribes, to the Grecians, to the Edomites, that ye might remove them far from their border. Yeah, you took us out of our land. You didn't want us in that land. All right, so you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay for that. And you know what? That beat your plowshare. That's actually in the same. I'll continue to read. That's actually in the same chapter. Yeah, I figured that. Let me continue. Behold, I will raise them out of the place whither ye have sold them. See? So the Lord, and this is why you're seeing the Israelites stand upon their feet. This is why you're seeing the so-called black man, the so-called Hispanic man, the so-called Native American man, cast off, Renaissance Christianity, plantation Christianity, and these different philosophies, and stand up and say that they're Israelites, because the Lord, he's raising us out of the land where you have sold us. And it tells us, was that Jeremiah? What is that? Jeremiah? How, the children of Judah, the children of Jerusalem, the children of Israel were oppressed together. Let me get that. Kind of getting a little bit longer than, but it's okay. I got a little time. We'll see how the spirit moves. And I want to go into Deuteronomy, but we might get it, we might not. We'll just see. Yep. Jeremiah 50:33. Thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. It's saying the same thing in Joel. It just uses the word Jerusalem. The word Jerusalem is interchangeable with the word Israel. So we were oppressed together where? In Babylon the Great, America. We're being oppressed together right as we speak, this very moment. And all that took them captive, and all that took them captives held them fast. Meaning, when you fasten a seatbelt, meaning you're going to stay in that seat. Okay, you get in a car crash, you'll stay in that seat. So they don't want to let us go. You think Esau Edom wants to let us go? No, you think he's going to tell, hey, look, I'm sorry, sorry for slavery. Here's $1 trillion. Oh yeah, by the way, you're the Israelites, okay? And the prophecy says that, you're going to put us in slavery. So we're ready. You know what? Actually, we're ready to go into slavery. They refuse to let them go. Why? Because we are a commodity that makes them trillions and trillions of dollars. This is how they got rich. Just as China and America is accusing them of doing the same that they have done. Because, see, you don't understand. These people of the world don't understand that people are nothing but slaves. OK, you're nothing but a slave. OK, and you are a human resource and you are used as a commodity. They know that the Israelites are commodities. OK, there's a lot of Israelites here in the United States. Well, if you say, OK, you know what, no more. Well, let's just say this. The agricultural industry. OK, how you get food to your table. Who picks that food? All the food that you see, the majority of the food that you're seeing, of that produce, who picks it? Issachar. Okay, so if Issachar wasn't picking it, you wouldn't be able to eat. Okay, the transportation industry, who's up in there as the bus drivers, the train conductors, the mechanics? Okay, who is that? The people who build the trains, the conductors and all that. Okay, and then even within management, who does that job? Jake, the Israelites, Judah and Jerusalem, or Judah and Israel. Okay, the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. Okay, the hospitality industry. Who's the main people in the hospitality industry? Okay, we don't have to say. Okay, it doesn't matter. Any industry that we could go on and on. Educational system. We can go on and on. They don't want to let us go, just like during the time of Egypt. Okay, it's the same thing. The same spirit is getting rolled back. Okay, why? It's because we were making them Egyptians a lot of money. Okay, they were able to sit back and relax. Okay, while we did all the grunt work. That's what's going on. That's actually what's going on today. Do you see the Chinese out there in the fields? No, you see Jake out there in the fields, Issachar, the other tribes, the Latin tribes. You don't see them doing the grunt work. And if they are, they could be a Jake. Okay, really? Let me continue. Yeah, that was it on that. That was actually it on that. So I'm back in Joel. So we're being raised up, and that recompense is going to be now upon your head. Okay. And I will sell your sons and your daughters into the hand of the children of Judah, and they shall sell them to the Sabians, to the people far off, for the Lord has spoken it. So you're going to be sold to us now. That's the recompense. Okay, you're going to be paid back. You put us in slavery unjustly, so now we're going to put you in slavery justly. Okay, and we're going to put holy hell on you. Holy hell. You don't even know hell. You didn't do it right. You literally didn't even do it right. We're going to do it the right way. The Lord is going to show you how to put somebody in slavery, how to really oppress a people. And you other nations, you're already low. Look at how the Lord raises up, out of slavery, and we're still in slavery. You're not going to be able to be raised up out of that slavery, because you're not going to have any power that's going to be on your side. All right. There is going to be no God on your side. All those gods are going to be destroyed. You're going to be perpetually under the Israelites' hands. Okay. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. And this is why we're seeing the Middle East and all these tensions between these nations, become very hot. Okay. Because war is being prepared. Okay. To recompense you. That's part of your recompense. Okay. A whole bunch of Chinese dying in this next world war. Okay, a whole bunch of East Indians die, a whole bunch of Arabs die, a whole bunch of Africans die, a whole bunch of Edomites die. Okay. And certain places get hit with nuclear missiles and totally annihilate, okay, those lands. Okay. Starting with America. By the way, America's going to be totally annihilated. Okay. All the little children here, all the Edomites, 2/3 of our people, men, women, and children. Okay. All the nations. Moab is out here heavy. Elam is out here heavy. Okay. Ham is out here heavy. You are all going to be destroyed. You're all going to be burned. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen. Yeah, you heathen. And gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Yeah, Yahweh Shaphat, meaning Yahweh's judgment. It's basically judgment time, man. Okay, you've been able to gad abroad freely, speak vain words against Yahweh Shemashai and his people, mock at us, spit at us, clap your hand. And you thought that, okay, this was going to be forever. Okay, I'm going to have these people forever under me. No. You're not. Okay, it's judgment time for you other nations. Okay, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. See? And I'm gonna just wrap it up, actually on these last few verses. It says, put ye in the sickle, for your harvest is ripe. Come down. It says, come, get you down, for the press is full, the fat overflow, for their wickedness is great. And it tells you in Isaiah that the Lord is going to punish the proud and the wicked, okay, for their sins. Okay, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Yeah, and we see that. We see the day and the day of the Lord drawing near. Okay, we out here in California, the skies are red for a moment. Okay, the air out here on the West Coast, the air quality is the worst in the world, worse than Dubai. Okay, not Dubai, Mumbai out there in India. Certain places in India where they have the worst air quality ever. Okay, out there in China where they have the worst air quality ever, where they're selling, packets of fresh air. It's worse than that. Okay. So, we're coming into crazy times. Esau, Edom, you're a hypocrite and you're going to be destroyed very soon. All right, brother, stay safe, stay strong. Until next time, shalom unto the leg.